Well, good morning. I know it's been a long time. Probably, I think it's been over a year since I've done a video on the Mustang. So, kind of a quick update video. I have been using the car. I still own it. You can see right now I got the battery tender on it. I was driving it yesterday. Uh, Obviously, if you saw the video, the title for the video, I put a new carburetor on the car. Went ahead and I put one of the Edelbrock AVS2 carburetors. Um, the 500, I don't know. It just didn't seem to be enough carburetor for this engine. Um, I got it running okay. Uh, it just, it didn't have any off the line power, I would say. It also sounded like it was missing a little bit. At first, I thought that was a electrical problem with the car, something with the ignition. Um, I went through, I checked all my, I set made sure the timing was right. I actually upped the timing a little bit in this car. I was able to get it, I think it's around, I want to say it's advanced, maybe about 10 degrees. I think normally these are around 8 degrees advanced, maybe 9. Um, that helped it a little bit. Um, I checked all the spark plugs. I pulled every spark plug in the car. I even, put the timing light, on each one of the plug wires just to see if there was an intermittent flash where it might have been missing. Nothing. Um, Actually, the guy that owned it, previous to the guy I owned it, the person that actually built this car the way you somewhat how it is today, he had actually upgraded the um, distributor. It's actually got Petronics internals, so that's pretty nice. The I actually put back on the old coil. I just thought this was just a normal coil, but it's actually a Petronics flamethrower. So it's all Petronics flamethrower in it. So I did put a new vacuum canister because, like I said, this thing going from a dead start just it was doggy. It just didn't have a lot of oomph. I got the kickdown all situated. I put this spring on it. Kickdown works awesome now. Um, but again, like I said, I tuned this car and I'll show you real quick. I have done a couple things inside that I was meaning to do. Hold on. All right, so as you can see, I did add the tachometer to it. So it's got a tach. Works really good. Pretty happy where it is. I just got it. It's just zip tied. There's 3 zip ties holding it in. But I like it. I can, if I need to move it a little bit, I can move it. I also added a vacuum gauge, which has helped me to be able to tune the carburetor. I still haven't done anything with the radio. And honestly, I don't think that vacuum gauge is going to stay there. It was mostly just, you can see I still have a long bit of tubing for it because I'm not really sure where I'm going to put it. I'm thinking about moving that stuff up here because none of this works. None of the HVAC system in this car works. I actually, like I said, I had taken out the blower motor. I still haven't put that panel back in there. But, and then there's a few wires hanging here. I haven't finished how I want to do my gauge setup yet. And then I have this up here. I put my phone, I use my phone. I got an app for, basically a speedometer because my speedo's off. But that's some things we've done on the interior. All right, so back to the engine. Finally, I just decided to up carb this back up. And if I was going to do it, I wanted to do the new AVS2 carburetor. The guy that I actually bought the rebuilt 500 CFM from, he actually has these on his site too, this is a rebuilt AVS2 Edelbrock. And I got it for $325 shipped to my house. That's taxes, that's everything. That's a pretty good deal. These things run right around just under $500 brand new. I'll probably end up just selling my old one for a couple $100 and I mean, that's not bad to fix this problem. I mean, I installed this carb, and I'm gonna tell you what a difference this carburetor made. Um, yeah, so the old style Performer series carburetor, Edelbrock carburetors, they use the old down leg system as far as, um, sorry about that. The Performers have the old down leg boosters, and those are okay. That's always what I've had in the past. I've had a lot of Edelbrock carburetors, and for mild motors like this one, they're perfectly fine. Um, I've never had anything with annular boosters, and I'm gonna tell you what. Once you go annular, you'll never go back. These annular boosters are awesome. I mean, this thing, it's like it has a whole new life. It did a complete 180 on how this engine was running. I mean, like I said, it was okay offline. It wasn't great. It felt like a 200 horsepower motor. I put this carburetor on, these annular boosters. I mean, I got it tuned pretty quick with the vacuum gauge. And, basically I put both of the screws, all the way in and then backed them out 2 full rotations out. And that was pretty spot on. That's usually how the factory has it set. I then went ahead and did a half turn each just to fatten it up a little bit. And I'm still on the vacuum. It's running at the 20 on the vacuum, which is good. So, I mean, that's where you kind of want it. But man, I'm telling you what, annular boosters are awesome. I will never get another carburetor with down leg boosters again. I'm sticking to annular boosters. It just, this thing, and every time it shifts into second gear, it breaks loose the rear end. I mean, this isn't the most powerful engine in the world, but man, it is so much fun. It totally woke this car up, and I have a future modification I plan on doing this car, which I'm about to show you. And I think it's really, with this new carburetor and those boosters, it's going to make this car a lot of fun. So hold on, and I'll show you that. All right, so here it is. Here's the next project or future modification I plan on doing to this car. So this was kind of a last second. I like to cruise around on Facebook Marketplace just to see if I can find things, and I found this. This is a 8.8 out of a 97 Mustang GT. As you can see, yeah, it's got the disc brake. It's a 5-lug. However, this one has 410 gears in it. It's a track lock posi. Basically, it has a new track lock and new Ford Racing 410 gears. The car got wrecked, and the guy had bought another Mustang, but it already had the gears he wanted. So he sold this for $200. I picked it up for $200. I kind of had to sneakily do this. I didn't want my wife to know about it because I didn't want to argue over it, because it's a $200 8.8 with gears and a new track lock was a great deal. And he lived about 30 minutes north of me in Georgia. So my wife and her friend decided to go to the farmer's market in the morning. And as soon as they left, I hopped in my truck. I called this guy, went right to his house, and paid him cash for it, and brought it home. And I had my neighbor help me stash it over here in the corner of the garage. I was hoping my wife wouldn't notice. However, it's right next to our sprinkler system, which my wife decided she needed to mess with. And unfortunately, my wife, she instantly recognized this. And yeah, she kind of knew when she married me that I'm a car guy and I'm going to spend money on parts every now and again. But anyhow, this car is going to be a lot of fun. Now, it is a 97, so it does have the disc brake. And as you can see, it has, it's hard to see in this camera, see if I can find it, but it does have the ABS in here. But from everything I've read, these are 28 spline axles, and what I'll do is I'm gonna pull the axles off of this rear end and swap axles. I'm gonna take these brakes off. Basically, the housing is exactly the same as an 8.8 out of a Fox body, an earlier, like an 88. I think they started in 86 through 93 Fox bodies. The housing is exactly the same. It's just the axles are a little bit longer, and that's because of the ABS. You can see the splines in there, I guess. I guess that's what you would call them. That's how it reads the ABS. But 7.5/28 spline axles will work in this. They're the correct length. They'll go right in because it is a 28 spline track lock. So I'm going to put the axles off of my 7.5, and then I'm going to pull the brakes off of this. I'm going to keep all these parts in case later I want to convert it to disc. But these are brand new drums. I'm just going to put the backing plate here, swap the backing plates. You can see they're just bolted on right here. And I'll put my drum backing plates on here and swap the drums over to this rear end and swap axles onto this rear end and put it in my car. It's a little bit of work, but not that bad. Nothing's leaking on this. It's full of oil, and it hasn't dripped. So all the seals, somebody went through this rear end. It's not all rusted up. I mean, it's in awesome shape. And for $200, I mean, you just can't beat that. I mean, plus it even has these were basically to stop wheel hop. And on my car, if you look, it actually, somebody upgraded it one time, because this year car didn't have the bolts. Somebody had actually put it, had the hole. Somebody actually put the bolts, so I can actually hook those up. Whether or not they're going to fit with a 275 tire or not, that remains to be seen. I heard a lot of guys just flip these little shocks around and they'll fit the tire. We'll see. If they don't work, they don't work. If they work, cool. It'll cut down on wheel hop. But that's the next thing I'm planning on doing. However, it might be a little bit before I do it. It is, as you can see, it is summer here in Florida, and it is stupid hot right now. The humidity here is just ridiculous, and I'm probably gonna wait till it cools down, because it is, I'm sweating right now, and I've just been doing this video for a few minutes. It's hot. But that's the updates on the car right now. I plan on taking it to a show next weekend. Callahan Cruisers, which is the local cruisers club, they're having it's an anniversary meet for them, so I plan on taking this car there. I'll probably do a little filming there, maybe post a video on that. So until then, later guys.